Welcome to part 4 of Competency 13. In this video, we will work with real-world applications. Number 1, a restaurant has 2 different soups, 3 different main courses, and 5 different beverages with a meal deal consisting of one item from each category. Suppose chicken soup is one of the soups and coffee is one of the beverages. If you order one chicken soup and one beverage, what is the probability that your meal will have chicken soup and coffee? Okay, this often throws people because of the wording. What they're really saying is, hey, we're only concerned about the probability for the soups and the probability for the different beverages. So our concern is one particular one out of the 2. But now for the main course, we don't care. So it's any of the 3 out of the 3. Well, that's 100% chance, which equals 1. And then for the beverages, 1 out of the 5. Okay. And let's suppose that, you can't wrap your head around the probability of it. Let's say there was a big order placed and you're in a company and you want to make sure you get what you want, even though you ordered, you're not sure. So you go up and they say, hey, this is what we've ordered in this big order. And, here's some of the possibilities until they last. Okay. Whatever, you know, make yourself think about it. Right. Well, you're going to say, well, I don't care about the main course. I like them all. But today I prefer the chicken soup and a cup of coffee to start. And you want to know what the probability is of getting that. Okay. All right. So, what do we really need to put in our calculator? Okay. So, you have your fraction. That's 1 out of the 2. I would not worry about the 3 out of 3 because it's 100%. You're going to get one of them. So, times, and then there's your fraction for 1 out of the 5. All right, so press enter, and automatically our calculator does everything we need. And you could have seen that, but not until you wrap your head around what's really happening and how to set it up. That's the key here. And to pick through the wording. Okay, let's look at the next item. So we have a diagram that'll help us with number 2. Okay. But I will have to explain the diagram and how it goes with the wording. All right. Number 2, 6 people are assigned to 6 different seats. Suppose that these 6 seats are in a row and assignments of the seats are random. Okay. Those 2 sentences scream permutation. Okay, and a randomness that matters. So placement matters. Okay, we aren't going to be specific, but once someone is placed, then that is their placement. That we can't have a change of placement. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, if 2 of the people to be seated are K and J, what is the probability that one of them will be assigned to the first seat and the other will be assigned to the 6th seat? Okay, the first and 6th seat. Okay, wonderful, whatever. That's just there to confuse you. What is important is that you are pulling 2 of these 6 out and making a small group. And how many are in the group? We have a group of 2, and everyone else is in a group of 4. That is the importance. You have R1 can equal 2 and R2, meaning groups. Okay. The group The second group can be a group of 4. That's everybody else. Okay. All right. Here, let's pretend like I can right today. Okay, so what do we put in the calculator? We'll use what you have, right? So I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. Let's set up our fraction, okay? So I'm going to deal with the denominator first. That is the total. How many seats and how many people? Well, it is 6. We want 6 out of 6 is my total that I'm working with today. So 6 and then push prob. Number one's what we want and 6. Okay, 6 out of 6. That will give us our nice big total. But then our numerator, now let's think about this. We're doing part out of total. It says now, what is the probability? Well, probability is part of the total. It's just this is more complex. Well, we have two parts out of our total, and we use the two permutations for our two groups, which are our two parts. Okay, so the first one is 2. We want prob number 1 and 2. Now you multiply them together. Okay, so we have multiplication. Now our other group. Well, that's 4 out of 4. Okay, so 4 prob enter, and don't forget to push 4 again. So now we have the probability of our two parts multiplied together over our total. Now let's push enter, and we get 1 out of 15, which is actually option A. Now, this is, yes, generally most of the time out of the scope of middle school. I have had it occur when you're teaching a little bit more advanced or different courses, okay? It's good to know the different probabilities, and this is called a permutation with conditions, and it is a probability. Okay? All right, so let's move to number 3. Number 3. The combination lock will open when the correct choice of three numbers in order from 1 to 20 is selected. How many different combinations are possible? Okay, do not read into this question. It is the most simplistic of combinations. And when you realize that when you say 1 to 20 is actually 20 numbers in each. You could say, think of a combination lock, the ones where there are wheel in order, and there's no zero, 1 to 20. That's 20 numbers. So A is out. It's not 19. Okay, you can't say 20 minus 1. That's the first place where they're trying to trick you. So you know you have 20, and there are three of them in a row. So that's going to be 20 times 20 times 20. Well, that's 20 to the third power, which is D. Okay. So if you want to see what that would be, actually the total, you simply put in your calculator 20, carry it up, and put a 3 and enter, and that is 8,000. Okay. Don't try to read into that and put some kind of an equation with it. It's not necessary. Just look at it straight on, exactly what it says. Okay, let's go to number 4. There are 5 different painting stations in an assembly line of a modern art studio, and the station paint types can be applied in any order. Okay, don't let that fool you. Okay. Here, let me highlight that. Be careful with that. One thing, we have different paint types. You got to know something about art here. You know how some of the paints are watercolors, some are those real thick ones that make texture. You could have puffy paints, all different kinds of paints out there. So if you're not sure about that, go look it up online. I use some of these and they're like really cool. Okay, for all different stuff. Okay. All right, and then we can put them in any order. Don't let you think that that's something it isn't, okay? We aren't going to go with order doesn't matter. Order will matter. Let me keep reading. The art studio is trying to determine which sequence of station products, produces the most unique and appealing effect. How many different orders will need to be tested. So those words are what we need to focus on. So order does matter. That means this is a permutation. Okay, how many stations do we have? We have 5. And the order matters, and we want the total. Okay, so it's not probability. So we're looking for 5 out of 5 permutation. So 5 prob number 1, 5 again, 5 out of 5 permutation, enter 120, and that is our option. Number 5. In a group of 12 park rides, there are 5 water rides, 4 train rides, and 3 roller coaster rides. Each ride is different so that no 2 rides are alike. Lydia would like to ride 3 water rides, 2 train rides, and 1 roller coaster ride. How many different selections of the 12 rides can Lydia ride? Okay, first off, this is a combination, okay, because order doesn't matter. Okay, it's just saying how many different ones. We don't care what order they're in, just how many. Okay, and that also is telling us, okay, it's a combination, and it's also saying we don't want a probability. There is no probability, so it is a total of combinations. However, our combinations have been grouped into conditions. Okay, so we have a group of 5, a group of 4, and a group of 3. The condition is of the 5, we only want 3. Of the 4, we only want 2. Of the 3, we only want 1. Okay, and we know it's a combination. So we're going to take each of those conditions and a combination, each of those conditional combinations, and multiply the 3 together. So let me show you on the calculator. Okay, first we have a 3 out of 5 combination. Okay, so we want 5 first and then push prob, but we want number 2. See, and I'm going to push 2. Okay, but we want 3 of those, and we're going to multiply. Now we need the next combination, all right, and that is a 2 out of 4. So we have a total of 4 prob number 2, and let's see here. Here's our 4 added 2. So push 2 again. Remember, we need the 2. Okay, now multiply, and then we have the third conditional grouping. Okay, so that is a total of 3, and we're only interested in one of those. So 3 prob number 2. Okay, that just gives us the 2 is just our selection for combination, and now we need to press 1. Okay, now we have all 3 of those conditional combinations multiplying together. So let's push enter, and that is 180, and that's correct. That's our selection. All right, that is the correct option. Okay, number 6. A circle with a radius of 3 is bounded by a rectangle with a length of 20 and a width of 15 inches, all inches. What is the probability that a randomly selected point lies inside the rectangle and also lies inside the circle? Okay, in this situation, this is a part out of the total. The part is the circle, the total is the rectangle. Okay. So, and it is asking us for probability. That's how I know to think about a part over total. Okay. What is the part? The part is a circle. So let's clear this out. Set up our fraction. Our part is a circle. So we know that the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay. And those formulas, by the way, will be given to you during your test. There will be, a place where you can push to see the formula sheet. All right. So we have pi. And what is our lovely radius? It is 3. So 3 and square. So that's pi r squared. That's for our circle. That's our part. That's the part we're interested in. Okay. But what is the total area? Well, that's base times height or width times length, whatever. That is our 20 times our 15. So now we have our calculator set up with part over total. So push enter, and that gives us 3 pi over 100, which is selection A, our option A. There we go. Right now, if you have been given a decimal, all you have to do here is press your toggle button. Okay? All right, we can go back to it by pressing again. Okay, this is the last question for this video. And again, thank you for watching and liking and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to check out our website at numbersarenadical.com. Things will be added over the next year. Obviously, things are being added right now. So, and remember that all of the competency parts of the coming workbook, they're available now. If you are also interested in the 7 to 12 235 exam, that all of those competencies are posted. The printables, I'm talking about the printable items. If you would like to print things out, okay, for that one, it's available as well as a full workbook. They're all low cost. And also these items for the 4 to 8 115 115 exam are also available. And as we add, you'll see more being added. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing, and you're amazing. Happy testing, everybody.